What's up, guys? Today we are going to take a look at these. They are Cooler Master's new MH752 gaming headset. Now, this is a USB headset. It is not wireless. It comes with a very long cord and actually its own integrated sound card. So, Cooler Master's been making some pretty good strides recently in their audio game. Let's see if these stack up by actually diving in and playing some games, recording some audio, and seeing how they do. So right now we are still recording through the Rode, not yet to the built-in mic. We'll get to that in a second. I just wanted to show you guys how these look on a giant melon like mine. You could see from the profile from either side that they're fairly subdued looking. They're all black, matte finish with a very subtle Cooler Master logo. There's no RGB lighting on here, nothing that's really customizable as far as the appearance goes. And I like that personally. You might not. You might want something that's a little flashier, and that's certainly fine. But Cooler Master's kind of focusing on sound quality here, which is something that I certainly appreciate. Now, when you're looking at these from a comfort standpoint, one of the biggest issues with gaming headsets is that you often find ones that either look good or sound good or feel good, but it's hard to find all three of those things. Sitting at a gaming station for hours on end, or even what I'm doing, which is editing a video for hours on end, these can certainly lead to fatigue. And the way these are designed, for me, they've been very, very comfortable. Now, everybody's gonna have a different opinion as far as what they like, what kind of feel they want out of their headset. But these have a very thick padding on the cups and on the headband. The headband itself is very flexible. And it's also, the clamping force is very appropriate for what you want to do with them. As I look like a crazy person shaking my head around, these things are not going to go flying off. They're very secure, but they're also not going to squeeze your head and make it feel like it's going to pop. So both comfort-wise and looks-wise, I think Cooler Master kind of hit the nail on the head here. These are an over-ear design, so the ear cups are a little bit larger than a lot of headsets on the market. They're going to fit around your ear, not necessarily on it. So some people like that, some people don't. Again, that is a very subjective thing. I find it to be very comfortable, and I also do like the fact that this microphone is detachable. So if I really wanted to take these on the go and wear them on an airplane on a trip like that, I could. It's not a problem. The USB sound card actually is detachable from the headset, and you get a standard 1/8" jack that you could plug into any normal headphone receptacle if you wanted to just take these on the go. So now we are recording through the built-in mic on the MH752s. To be honest, if I had the choice, I would really never use a built-in mic. I'd always prefer to use something like this, but this is very, very convenient for a lot of people out there. So I definitely understand why it is a selling point to have a decent mic on a headset like this. This one is pretty good. The clarity is good. I'm sure you guys can understand me. And the volume is decent. It's not gonna replace any kind of a professional voiceover setup to have one of these. However, it's definitely serviceable, and it's better than a lot of mics out there. I did want to show you guys Cooler Master's Portal software. Now, if you have any Cooler Master peripherals that are fairly new, this is how you're going to be controlling them. Right now, all that's showing up is the MH752 headset, because that actually is the only Cooler Master item that I have plugged into my main system right now. But if you had any keyboards, mice, headsets, or even their mouse pads, they would populate over here, and you dive right into the controls. Obviously, the MH752s do not have any RGB effects on them, so all you're going to see here is what honestly is most important with a headset, and that's audio controls. So on the left, you have volume for the ear cups, and then volume for your microphone input. Next to that, bass and treble, basic controls, and then after that, you have a little more granular control over how your audio is going to sound with your equalizer. So if you want to change some of these settings, it's as easy as just sliding them around here. And you can see that they've already given you some presets. So you have pop music, you have movie, you have gaming with a bass boost. And then this is the one that I've created. Well, that's actually not the one. That's probably more like it. So let's save that. But if you want to add a new profile, it's as easy as going add new profile, moving some things around, and then hitting the save button. And then you have your new profile, and this would probably sound awful. But The controls are pretty easy to master. There's not much hidden in here. There's nothing that you really have to dig for. It's all right here. You could turn on your 7.1 surround through these controls or through the controller on the little sound card. There's a button that you could hit to turn 7.1 on or off. To be honest, I prefer it off, but we're going to try gaming with it on because that is, one of the features of this headset. And I guess let's just do it. So we're going to leave this microphone on just as it is, and we're going to jump into some gameplay. And I'm going to see if this virtual 7.1 surround sound generated by the MH752s actually makes a difference for me when I'm in game, and if it's going to allow me to hear footsteps coming from behind me or anything along those lines that might make my gameplay just a little bit better, because it's pretty bad right now. All right, so here we are in Far Cry 5, and one of the reasons that I wanted to use this game to demo this headset, I guess demo it for myself, is because not only do you often have enemies approaching you from different directions, but you also have a lot of vehicles. So you have vehicles driving by, even coming down as far as helicopters and planes go, boats going by on the river below, and I wanted to see if I could personally tell the difference between like just the regular 2-channel experience versus the virtual 7.1 experience that the MH752s are supposed to be able to do. So I have played this a little bit before I started recording, and it was certainly interesting that when there's a certain sound coming from a specific location, let's say the river right now, so the river right now is in front of me, and it's behind me. And when I have the 7.1 enabled, as I pivot around, I could hear the river coming from different areas around my head. It's fake. It's all done in software. I clearly don't have 7 speakers orbiting my Nugget right now, so it's all done with different volume levels, and that's really all that a headset can do. But there's some that do it better. God, this guy is shut up. Some headsets are doing it. Oh my God, there's a bear. Didn't get him. But some headsets do it better than others. This is doing it pretty well. I could say, like, as I'm moving, as I'm pivoting and listening to where the river is, it's going around my head appropriately. So there's a button on the little sound card, little controller, for 7.1, turn it on and off. So if I turn it off and I listen to it now as I'm moving around, yeah, it's definitely not the same. It still moves from ear to ear, but the transition isn't as smooth. It kind of jumps from one ear to the other, versus if you have the 7.1 enabled, and I'm moving around. Yeah, it's definitely like a much smoother pan across the sound of the river in your headset versus just the 2-channel. So it's definitely doing something. One thing that I can say though is that I'm somebody who kind of came from I used to be a DJ. I used to produce music. I much prefer, in general, when just listening to music, a flatter sound profile, to be able to listen to the tracks as the artist intended, as they had made it in their studio, versus pumping up the bass or the treble or whatever. However, some speakers or headphones are designed to reproduce. Whoa! All right, designed to reproduce the sound. Sorry, buddy. So that's what I prefer when listening to music. But when you're gaming, it's completely different, because you want that kind of competitive advantage. You want to be able to tell where things are coming from. And I know that there's certainly a reason that professional gamers all see. I mean, I heard that coming way before I saw it, which was pretty neat. God, dude, just die already. Got him. How many dudes are there over here? Apparently there's quite a few. Oh, it's just this. Just. Whoa. What the? Wow, that got intense real fast. So, where was I? I don't remember what I was saying. It's definitely helpful in game to be able to hear where things are coming from, and this is definitely doing a good job of it. I think certainly if I was just going to listen to music, I would turn off the 7.1. But just in that firefight alone, it was certainly helpful, and I don't know. I think that if you are comfortable wearing headphones for long periods of time, some people certainly aren't, then gaming with something like this is going to give you an edge. So, yeah, it works. 7.1 works. These sound pretty good. Is that guy? All right. God, these guys don't give up. Oh, shut your face. Shut your face. Okay. What, did you resurrect yourself? Get the f*** out of here. Nice barrel roll, bro. Alright, let's wrap this up. So, what do I think of these, the MH752s? So, comfort-wise, they're really good. They're light. The clamping force is adequate. They don't shift around on your head. The padding is good. They're comfortable for long sessions. Really good job, Cooler Master, on the comfort. How do they sound? The 7.1 virtual surround is actually really useful in games. It's something that I've never really used before, but I might if I ever have any occasion to game with any regularity. It's definitely something that I'll look into using, especially for like first-person shooter kind of stuff. The regular sound mode for listening to music, which obviously I didn't demo for you. I'm not going to sit here and just listen to a track or something like that. These sound better than most gaming headsets. They're certainly not as good as a dedicated audiophile grade set of headphones. Something like, you know, what I usually use, which is my Triple Driver over-ears from One More. But these have replaced those on my main system simply because of the fact that it has a microphone. So if I ever want to jump in and play a game or even just get on a quick Skype call, it's easy to do with these. So they sound good enough where there's no real complaints. It's not as robust of an audio experience as something like a really high grade headphone would be, but they're not supposed to be. These are only like $90 US versus something like the One More Triple Drivers, which are like $250, versus like the new SteelSeries Pro, which are like $300+ or something like that. So, I mean, you're definitely getting a really quality audio experience for not that much money. The microphone sounds pretty good. Not the best, not like this, but definitely adequate and not muddy, very clear. So definitely a good job there. I do like the fact that it's detachable. You could just take this thing off if you want. If I can manage to do that without looking. There we go. So it's not a problem if you don't want to, walk around with these with the microphone attached. You could just, take this thing off. I don't really have any specific complaints. I did talk to Cooler Master about volume issues, where I thought that these weren't quite as loud as they could be. And I still think that even after tinkering with it in software. However, I think it's actually fine, because I was playing with like the levels in the EQ, and when I got to the lower end of the spectrum, anytime I would increase any kind of bass profile, these would get pretty distorted. So, if the volume was significantly higher on these, I think you might encounter the same problem. They still get plenty loud, just not quite as loud as maybe some other headphones out there. So that would be my major complaint as far as the sound goes. You're not really going to be able to get super heavy bass out of these, which I'm fine with, but you might not be. Like I said, they do tend to distort. Other than that, though, definitely a really good gaming experience with them. Cooler Master is more focused now on the audio experience versus the gimmicky stuff. Like, they really want to put out a good sounding headset, and they're even like moving into just making pure audio products, not necessarily for gaming. So good for them. I think that's it's definitely going to be beneficial to have better audio in their products versus always focusing on what's the latest RGB trend or something like that. So overall, I really do like these, and I would certainly recommend them, especially in that sub $100 class. And I know they have some more of these, not necessarily these, but some more headsets coming out fairly soon that I did see originally at CES. So we'll probably take a look at those too on the channel. So get subscribed if you don't want to miss that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.